Hi, it's Jen from drjenbasir.com, and today we're going to talk about meditation, specifically meditation for people who can't meditate. And I know that that is a lot of you from the conversations that I have with my friends and my clients. I also know that so many people want to be able to meditate. They simply have this belief system that they can't do it or that it's too hard. So today I'm going to give you some ideas for how to meditate in a way that does not involve sitting quietly on a mat or on a cushion and breathing. We're going to talk about other things you can do that are meditative in nature to help you get moving on this path toward adding and including meditation in your daily routine. And you might wonder, why the heck would I want to meditate anyway? Or what exactly is meditation? Well, most people that I talk to think that meditation means that we need to completely quiet your mind. You need to be able to sit quietly and peacefully for hours on end and have no thoughts or nothing going through your mind and just be peaceful. This is not what meditation is about. So hopefully that will give you some encouragement. The mind continuously has thoughts and impressions and feelings and things that are coming up within our body and going through our brain. So the whole purpose of meditation, it's not to get rid of those thoughts and those feelings and those images, whatever it is that's coming up. It's not to get rid of those things, but it's simply to learn to be present, to put your awareness and your concentration on the things that you want it to focus on, and ultimately to focus on positive things in the world and in your life that you want. So often we have the habit of just reacting to things that happen. You also probably are very familiar with the roller coaster of emotions that you may go through on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes it seems like that happens even minute to minute. The idea with having a regular meditation practice is that those roller coaster moments don't throw us off course or off track for your entire day or even for days or weeks on end. So that when you deal with a challenging situation or another individual who might be angry or negative, you can remain present for that experience and you can choose to remain calm and peaceful during that experience. We tend to believe that our happiness comes from outside of us, somewhere here in the world. If we have the perfect relationship, or we have the perfectly clean house, or if we love our job, or if our bodies look the way we want, we think all of these things will make us happy, and we put our expectations and our beliefs on each of those other things. And of course, then our perceptions are only ours. They are not shared by others. So when these things don't turn out the way we want, the way we think they should be, then we get this roller coaster and we feel disappointed or we feel rejected or some other emotional experience that is not satisfying or peaceful. Ultimately, what meditation does is it teaches us that that peace and that happiness that we are seeking comes from within us and with our ability to control and direct our mind, our thoughts, and our feelings. So if you want to have better relationships, deeper connections with others, if you want to feel more calmness and more presence and more peace and happiness in your life, then meditation is something that can serve you very well to this end. But you do not have to just sit on a mat and meditate. So let's talk about other things that you can do to cultivate that state of meditation without sitting cross-legged on your mat or your cushion and focusing on your breath. That is, of course, one of the best basic meditative practices you can do when you are ready for that. But in the time being, before you reach that point, you can do meditation or achieve the same thing through other practices. So let's talk about what some of those are. Number one, doing a flowing yoga practice, a vinyasa practice. The idea with this type of yoga is that you are constantly moving from one posture to another, and you are doing that movement along with your breath. So you are focusing your attention on your breath and on your body as you move through the yoga poses on your mat. This is a fantastic way to start being meditative and changing your awareness and having an awareness of your thoughts and your body and what's going on within you and around you. This is actually how I started meditation. I felt like many of you probably do. I thought, I can't sit on a mat and just breathe. I can't do it. So I started by finding a yoga class and practicing sun salutations and other types of flowing yoga. The whole idea here is that you keep your awareness on the breath as you are going through your yoga class. And then after you have maybe some good practice with just cultivating that awareness, then you start being aware without having any judgment towards your thoughts. And this is how you want to work with your meditation, regardless of the type of practice that you do. We tend to be very judgmental about what comes up in our mind and what we see in the world. And so the idea is simply to allow what arises to arise and to be curious about it, to wonder why it's there or where it comes from or how perhaps you can transform it. And most importantly of all, to have the realization that anything that arises is temporary and will pass. All of your thoughts, all of your feelings, they come and go just like the waves. And so nothing is going to be there permanently with you, even though sometimes it feels like it. So the first meditative practice for people who cannot meditate is to do a flowing yoga practice, a vinyasa yoga practice. All right. The second thing you can do to meditate is to practice Tai Chi or Qigong. Now, these are very similar. It's the same idea or concept, I guess, as the yoga practice. Tai Chi, especially if you follow a particular form or a style, will take you through a set number of poses and postures, again aligned with your breathing. So your attention and your awareness is on your breath, and it is on what your body is doing as you're going through the form. It's the same idea. If you aren't into yoga, try some Tai Chi or try Qigong. Same principle. You take your body through a series of physical postures, and you do that while you're focusing on the breath. All right, the third thing you can do to help you with your meditation is to go for a walk. You say, Jen, I already walk. How is that meditation? Well, you make it into a meditative practice by counting your steps. Count them to maybe 5 or 10, and then simply start over again. Just keep counting every time you take a step. This keeps you focused, present, and in the moment, and gives your attention on your body and what you're doing instead of allowing your mind to wander all over the place, which is its natural pattern anyway. All of these things are going to take time and they're going to take practice. So be gentle with yourself as you go about this. The idea is not that you get rid of the scattering of the thoughts. The idea is that when those scattering thoughts happen, you allow yourself to come back to whatever it is that you want your attention to be on. All right, and one more. The fourth thing that you can do to help you with meditation is simply to pray over something that you have read, to ponder something that you have read, or just prayer by itself. Some people that I know are incredibly good at spending their time just having a conversation with God. This is a wonderful form of prayer. It is also a form of meditation. You have to stay present and focused in this conversation because the other person, the other being, is not physically present with you, so it's harder to stay focused. So this is a type of meditation where you just have a conversation with Heavenly Father, with God, with infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call that, that sense of being in the universe. Related to this is the idea of reading something. You can read some scriptures, or read something else that you find uplifting and motivating, and then just spend a few minutes thinking about what this might mean, what else you can learn from it, what message might be contained in the passage that you just read. This is also a form of meditation. It requires you to be present, to have your awareness on what is happening right in front of you right at the moment. So now you have 4 different options of things that you can do that do not require you to sit quietly and peacefully on a mat for 30 minutes and just focus on your breath. I strongly encourage you to try any one of these things, not just for one day, but like any other habit that you want to try. If you want to see how it works for you, try it for at least a few weeks and see what differences you notice in your life, in your mind, and in your ability to be present. This is something that does not need to be frustrating. Realize that your mind is used to going all over the place, and that is a natural, completely natural process. And it's going to take time to train your mind to be present and focused on the things you want. But the benefits that you will reap from this practice are immeasurable. So give it a shot and let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear from you. As always, thanks for listening and have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time.